Yeah, I'm just opening. I'm just opening.
Sure, sir.
Okay, I hope you're able to see, right?
I think, yeah. Opportunities after graduation. Perfect.
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 Okay, then I'll just start. I'll just start.
Yes.
Okay.
So 1 second. So, good evening, students, and apologizing for you for the delay that happened. And I'm sure all the 50 students here would make good use of this today's session. And I also assure that every week, for the higher education club, the career development cell will put forth some events, and I wish your support to be there for all things. Thank you so much, Prithwin sir, for coming in to present for our students. And yeah, the virtual stage is yours. Thank you.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Hi, this is actually Prithwin Rajendran. A brief background about myself. I did my engineering from SSN many years back, and SSN College of Engineering, and then I have done a certificate course from the London School of Economics. I clear CAT on a regular basis, that is on a yearly basis. I have got admission into IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta many times. In 2015 CAT, I got interview calls from 18 out of the 19 IIMs. So I was working with Cognizant for some time before I started this training institute called Prime Educators, and I have been specifically into training for quantitative. So what I thought today is right. What I thought today is I'll have a session on what opportunities are there after graduation. In simple words, the opportunities are endless. There are so many opportunities. For that we need at least 2 to 3 days to discuss about that. So even the topics that we are going to look at today, see what is the opportunities. You have your banking exams, you have your MBA options, you have GRE as an option, because we are dealing with engineering students also. So as well as then you have SSC as an option also. So my request is, instead of me just talking to the screen like that, my humble request is, if anyone has any questions in between, interrupt and ask me. So unmute yourself and ask me, so that we can make it a little more interactive. And I'll try my level best to help you as much as I can. Try my level best to help you as much as I can. So firstly, if you see, right, there are no secrets to success. If you want to achieve anything, right, it is a result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. Now, to be honest with you, if you take myself also, see, like when I was preparing that time, it was I took up my first CAT in 2008. Now, when you see CAT 2008, it was like, you have to do engineering and then you do MBA. That was the style, like, fixed thing at that point of time. So I went prepared, studied well. My strong area at that point of time was English, not maths, but we prepared very well. Now we took up the exam, did it. But then somebody, because my father was working in a government bank, he told, you take up maybe the SBI's banking exam. So I took it up. The exam was the same, almost the pattern was more or less the same, and I was able to clear that also. I was able to clear that. It was more or less the same. So what you can understand is, right, all these competitive examinations here, more or less it is going to be the same syllabus. It's going to be more or less same syllabus. Aptitude, here and there will be a slight difference. Here and there'll be a slight difference. But then when you want to achieve something, when you want to clear something, when you want to get into a good place, obviously you cannot just do it by just sitting one night and studying. It's not like our semester exams where you can just study in the last moment and do it. So here you need to put in that much effort, because you have competition. Lakhs and lakhs of people will be competing with you. Okay. So now what about bank exams? What are their options? Now bank exams, if you see, you have I'm going to first dwell on the top government exams. I'm going to dwell on the top government exams. Now primarily, if you see, there are two main bodies. One is your SBI, which is your State Bank of India. That is the main body which main SBA, and another one is your IBPS, SBI and IBPS. Just 1 second. I want to see if I can write. Actually, I just want to see if I can write. Uh, Madam, is it possible to write in Meet, in Microsoft Teams? Actually, is it possible to write? Any idea?
So there is a whiteboard, sir.
Whiteboard, huh? Whiteboard. Okay. But whiteboard, if I okay. If I have a whiteboard, then this will go away, right? I cannot write on the PPT, right?
Sir, actually, I think you're sharing the PPT, sir. You can share your screen and annotate on it.
Okay, great. I'll do that itself. I'll do that. Thank you. Are you able to see? Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're able to see, right? The PPT you're able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Fine. Now, so if you see, right, the if you look at bank exams, right, the top government exams are your SBI as well as IBPS. Now, if you take SBI stands for State Bank of India. Most of us will be aware of it. And the next one is your IBPS. Okay, IBPS is your Institute of Banking Personnel and Selection. Institute of Banking Personnel and Selection. So just in case, if in case in between you're not able to see anything, if my connectivity gets cut, please let me know. If my connectivity gets cut, please let me know. Somebody please interrupt me and let me know. Now, State Bank of India, if you see, they have a PO, that is probationary officer post, as well as an SO. SO is nothing but specialist officer as well as your clerical. So you have PO, SO as well as clerical. And if you look at all of these exams, more or less, these exams will run from September to January. That is, you'll have the timelines will be from September to January. So you have your State Bank of India will be a probationary officer, specialist officer, and clerk. The next one is your Institute of Banking Personnel and Selection, IBPS, Institute of Banking Personnel and Selection. Now, apart from from SBI, you have the other banks. You have Allahabad Bank, Union Bank of India, Bank of India, IOB. So many banks are there, right? For them, who does the recruitment? This IBPS, which is nothing but your Institute of Banking Personnel and Selection, does the recruitment for them. So it's your IBPS which does the recruitment for them. Again, there also you have your PO, which is your probationary officer. Then you have SO, which is your specialist officer. Then you have your clerk, which is your again your clerical officer who does the data entry, bank entries, and other things. And then there's one more thing called as RRB. That is, RRB is, don't confuse this with your railways. This is nothing but your regional rural banks. There's nothing but your regional rural banks. There are banks like that, which also for which the recruitment is being done by IBPS. Now, apart from this, the main bank is our Reserve Bank of India. It is the RBI has a grade B officer selection. Now, grade B officer selection is like, it's like the most sought after posting in our country for when it comes to banking. Because normally when you say RBI officer grade B, You join as an assistant manager, then you go to see, then you assistant manager, then manager, senior manager, and then the last best position would be DGM. Now you will have all these. There are many grade B officers who have become, few of them, not many, few of them who have become the Reserve Bank governor. Reserve Bank governor, but mostly the last posting would be the deputy governor. Deputy governor is one of the most cherished postings for RBI. Cherished postings for RBI. Similarly, you have grade C, which will be lower, and then you have office assistant. Office assistant here is nothing but your clerical. Office assistant is nothing but your clerical. Office assistant is nothing but your clerical posting. And NABARD is your National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So if you are looking to take up, one of the government bank exams, SBI is a good one, as well as IBPS, because IBPS will have a lot of postings. They'll have even reservations for the different communities and so on, as well as RBI. RBI, the problem with RBI, right? Your grade B officer post job vacancies will be very limited. It'll be very limited, and they'll have per state also. It'll be very limited. Now, what about these exams? See, now most of these exams will have a preliminary exam, and then they'll have a mains, and then they will have a interview. So they'll have a preliminary exam, they'll have a mains, and then they'll have an interview. Now, more or less, if you see these clerical exams, this SBI clerk, IBPS clerk, they have a preliminary exam, they have a main exam, but they don't have an interview. So for clerks, right, they don't ask you to take up uh, an interview process, but they just ask you to take up a preliminary exam and a main exam. And all these exams are online based. All these exams are online based. So if I'm going to the next slide, I'm just going to show you. See now, if you see what are the common exam patterns. Now there is, you have prelims and mains. That's what I told you. You have prelims and mains, and almost in prelims and mains, in every case, you will have reasoning ability, you will have quantitative aptitude, and you will have English language. These three sections will more or less come in all your prelims and all your mains. These three sections, that is your reasoning ability, that is they'll ask questions on arrangements, networks, distribution, logical, any logical. That is, they'll say A is related to B is related to C. How is A related to C? So that blood relation questions will come under reasoning. Next is your quantitative aptitude. Quantitative aptitude will be nothing but your proper maths. They won't ask questions based on calculus. But it will be, on percentages, profit loss ratios, and so on. English language will be reading comprehension, grammar. Then they'll have some para jumbled questions. Then they'll have some topics called as closey. And then the next one would be on, which normally comes in your mains, that this general economy and banking awareness do not come in your preliminary exam. It'll come in your main exam. Now one thing is, if you see general awareness, what is general awareness is nothing but they'll ask you questions on GK, latest current affairs. They'll ask you questions on that. Then economy, then banking awareness, what are the different types of banks, history of banks, what is a check instrument, what are the debt instruments. All those type of questions will come under banking awareness, but this will come only in the main. See, now why do you have a preliminary exam? A preliminary exam is to filter out. When you have 20 lakh people taking up an exam, you want, the 20 lakh to be filtered down to 1 or 2 lakhs. Then from that 1 or 2 lakhs, you want to take down, get a few, again, filter it down through your mains. Then from your mains, they filter it down by an interview. That's how they do it. As well as some particular exams have a computer aptitude section also, and then finally the personal interview. But remember, when it comes to the clerical staff, right, vacancies, you do not have the personal interview. Now why do people try to get into this? Stability. Then you have stability, and the people pay a lot also, right? If you see, right, you can easily get, starting, if you join as a probationary officer, you can get around 8 lakhs. It goes up to 10-12 lakhs if they post you in a metro city like Bombay. So it varies, and clerks also get a lot, and clerks also starting at a lot. The stability is there. They won't have that many transfers also taking place, and vacancies are there. And now, if you look and see, right, considering the COVID pandemic and so on, right, so many people in the private sector have lost jobs. So this is something which will, ensure that okay, they're safe. They're safe. At least, we have a chance. We have a chance that at least we will get 100% salary, because many companies are paying only 80%, 70%, 60%. Many people have lost their jobs. That is the reason why people would prefer to go for this. But this, whether you want to go for clerical or you want to go for probationary officer, it depends on you. A probationary officer will give you more salary, but you'll have a lot of transfers. You will travel all over the country. Only then you will be like eligible for there are a lot of conditions for the promotions also, right? Fine. Does anyone have any questions based on these two slides? That is the bank exams as well as the pattern. No questions, huh? Okay. Fine. Fine.
Can you show the next slide once?
This one, common exam patterns.
Yes, sir.
You have any question in this?
No, sir. I thought of taking a screenshot so that it
No
will be
problem.
useful
No
in-
problem.
in
Please
later.
take. Yeah. Can I move to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, okay, that we saw about banks. We saw about bank exams and their options. And normally, the notification comes. All of this will happen in the exams. It's a long run process. It's not like fixed. Everything happens in November. It's not like that. It happens from September till things. Sometimes it comes even in June. Sometimes it comes in June because you have State Bank coming in June, IBPS happening later on. So I'm saying that we need to follow it sincerely if you're looking to get into this. But notice the thing here. Notice the thing here. They don't expect you to know accounting or finance to get into the officer role or the clerical role. You just need to study aptitude. That is reasoning, quantitative, English, and then a bit of general economy banking awareness if you clear the preliminary and go to the mains. That is that. Now, what about the private banks? Now we are talking about public sector banks. What about private banks? Now, private banks, if you see, there are many. You are aware, you have ICSA, you have HDFC, you have Axis, you have KVB. Now, one thing is we know, okay, State Bank does a recruitment, IBPS does a recruitment. What about these banks? They also have a recruitment process. So each of these banks, if you go over to, especially into ICICI, you go into their website. What will happen is they'll have a careers page. In that careers page, you can apply for probationary officer, and normally they'll have a regular intake. Before, I do not know currently how it is, but they'll have a see what will happen is ICICI Bank or some particular bank will have a tie-up with some college like Manipal, where they will teach them. They'll train them for 1 full year. Or ICICI Bank or that particular bank itself will train them for 1 full year. And normally the starting salary will be 3 to 4 lakhs. So they have vacancies for that. But again, what is the process? Everywhere, if you see, even here, it is going to be an online test. Just like how in the State Bank and IBPS, it's an online test. Here also is going to be an online test. What is the syllabus for that test? Is going to be again a aptitude. You'll have your quantitative aptitude, verbal and logical. You'll have, as well as after that, once you're selected, if you cross the eligible mark, you will be called for a personal interview. This is about your private banks. But it's not like every September or every June they will give a notification. It's as and when they have a requirement, because it's a private sector. As and when they have a requirement. So sometimes they may not even honor the requirement also. It depends. So as and when they have a requirement, they come. Now, another way to get into these banks. Okay, we think we have to go through their portal only and get into, apply there, take up the test and do it. Now, imagine you join a business school. You want to do an MBA, you join a business school. Now, imagine you join, there's in Chennai itself, because we are now talking about Chennai. In Chennai, there is a college called as LIBA, Loyola Institute of Business Administration. Now, LIBA, if you see, even my friends, when they were studying around 10, 12 years back, uh, many of their classmates got into Karur Vysya Bank, that is KVB, for 4.5 lakhs starting. So KVB, they got into Karur Vysya Bank for 4.5 lakhs starting. So they got into KVB for 4.5 lakhs starting. They got the basic grade. That is, when you start off, you'll start as assistant manager. They got into that. Similarly, ICICI Bank will go into all these colleges like Great Lakes. Then there's a college in Trichy called as Bharatdasan Institute of Management. They will take them as, sales managers. They'll take them as managers or branch assistant managers and so on. They'll pay well. ICICI Bank will pay well, but it is very hectic. Work will be very hectic and tedious also. Similarly, okay, you're thinking, okay, sir is telling me private banks, okay, they go to this B schools for placements. What about public sector banks? Now, public sector banks, see, you have these State Bank of India. Now, if you take State Bank of India, State Bank of India will go to the premier business schools like IIM Bangalore, IIM Calcutta. Okay, what are they doing there? What are they doing there? Now, normally, if you take up State Bank's exam all by itself, only its exam, if you take it up and go to the normal process, you will get a posting as assistant manager scale 1, then scale 2, scale 3. You'll go like that. Assistant manager, scale 1, then you will go next manager, then scale 2, scale 3, like that you will go up. Now, what will happen here is, if they go to IIM Bangalore or IIM Calcutta, they will directly take you to scale 3. They'll take you manager scale 3, scale 4, or whatever. They'll take you. So what will happen is, you're superseding the others by some 7-8 years. This is an advantage. So if imagine you have an IIM Bangalore degree or an IIM Calcutta degree, you get into State Bank directly as a senior manager or whatever, you have a very good chance of becoming an executive director, ED, or a GM very fast at the age of 45, 48 itself. While the other people who go through the normal process, right, who go through the normal process will take many years and may not have a chance of, reaching that level. If they reach that level, you are ahead by 5, 6, at least minimum 6, 7 years. I'm just telling you. So this is one way. One is the direct recruitment, where you go through the the proper channels. Another one is when they come to college. Fine. Next is SSC, Staff Selection Commission. Staff Selection Commission, there are many exams for SSC. When it comes to SSC, there are many exams. It's not, what I put on the screen. It's not that, this is enough. It's not the case. Fine. Now, suddenly you feel your heart is towards, the central government. There are so many central government services. Now, normally, grade A, that is a top, the cream, right? Group A or grade A, whatever they call that, that will be normally selected through UPSC, the Union Public Service Commission. Normally it'll be headed by your IAS or IPS and other staff, right? Then there's another services called as your Central Secretariat Services. That is your Group A and Grade A. What about the others? What about Grade B and Grade C? What about your inspectors? What about your constables? See, you have something called as your Border Security Force. You would have heard of that. Then you would have heard of CRPF, Central Reserve Police Force. These people have inspectors, sub-inspectors. These people have constables. How do they recruit? It's not that, each state is recruiting and putting. It's not like a Tamil Nadu police where, the state recruits. No, this is a central service. So normally for such central services, central ministries, central services, central government departments, central ministries, normally for the lower levels, Group B, Grade B, Grade C, Grade D, and so on, normally they have these SSC exams. So SSC was started in 1975. Headquarters is in Delhi. They conduct exams throughout the year. Different multiple exams are there. Many exams are there. So the main exam which a lot of people talk about is your SSC exam, CGL, combined graduate level. It's for grade B and grade C. I'm just given in bracket, I put some examples. You have, if you want to join as an IT inspector income tax, right? If you want to join as an inspector income tax, or GST is there, right? GST has a department. Or why leave that even, leave GST. There is our CBI is the Central Bureau of Investigation. If you want to join as an inspector there, you can take up the SSC exam. One of my juniors from college, she got admission into, she didn't get admission. She cleared the SSC exam and got her posting as Inspector CBI, but it was true SSC. So it's a prestigious thing. It's a central government thing. It's not a state thing, and you have more respect, more power, everything. But again, if you want to go from inspector to the next level, it'll take time. It's not what UPSC will give you. It's not something which the UPSC will give you, because UPSC will just directly give you Group A, right? Grade A. So this is one thing. So if you want to join as assistant audit officer, assistant accounts officer, deputy accounts officer, section officer, IT inspector, income tax inspector, this is one exam which you can take up. Similarly, they have something after 12th. I'm not talking about that because it may not be relevant for us. Then the third one is junior engineer. Junior engineer will be your group B non-gazetted officer. So now if you take your junior engineer, what will be the syllabus for the exam? They'll have something like reasoning, then questions on reasoning and general intelligence, they call it as. Then they'll have questions on general awareness, that is your GK. And the next part would be, if it is going to be a JE, that is junior engineer for for civil or mechanical or electrical. Based on that, based on what post you're applying for, the third part of the question paper will be that. So it will be syllabus oriented towards your core, towards the core. So that is your SSC junior engineer. It is a group B posting. It's a group B posting. Then next is SSC general duty for constable. General duty constable in border. BSF is border security force. CISF is central industrial security force. NIA is national investigative agency. We'd have heard of NIA on all the many of the movies. It will come national investigative agency. CRPF is central reserve police force. So you want to join as a constable in this, you can look at this. If you want to join as an SI, if you want to join as an SI, again they have a separate exam, SSC CPO, Central Police Organization. Again, SI for all these bodies, even the Delhi police force also, SI will go, recruitment will go through this, Then for SSC stenographer, and all are paid well, stable jobs. Then SSC selection posts, other group B, group C, non-ministerial and non-gazetted posts. Again, if you take for all of this, they have again a little bit. It's not that, see, like in banking, what it was like more or less the pattern is the same for each and every exam. Here it will vary exam to exam. And sometimes what will happen is, see, if they're recruiting for assistant audit officer, they'll expect you to take an exam relevant to that. They'll expect you to take an exam relevant to that, to test your accounts knowledge and so on. So just like junior engineer, they'll test your civil or mechanical or other core areas, right? That is what will happen. Okay, that is one thing. So this is one thing about SSC. A lot of opportunities. Normally this recruitment happens throughout the year. Lot of opportunities available. Pay scales also are quite high. Not like before. People are paid well, as well as you get postings throughout India. And you get again access to all these organizations like your CBI, BSF, CISF, CRPF, and so on. Okay, CISF and so on. Fine. Anyone has any questions in this? No.
Sir, what is stenographer?
Stenographer is your stenographer, right? Typist. Data entry, all those things, right? For that itself, there is a lot of competition. There's a lot of healthy competition for that itself. There is a lot of healthy competition. Fine.
Okay.
Fine. Next one is your RRB. RRB is your Railway Recruitment Board. Don't get it confused with the regional rural banks. Now RRB normally Group A. Group A posts will be filled by UPSC. Group A post, that is your Indian Defense, Railway Defense, Indian Railway accounts, Indian Railway Services. All those things will be filled by your Group A posts. That will not have anything to be done by your RRB. Okay, in RRB will not select people for Group A posts at all. Will not select people for Group A posts at all. So UPSC, through the UPSC way only, you will have to get into the top, the cream of the cream, the top posts you will have to get in through UPSC. So what about the other posts? You have your junior engineer, you have your sections engineers, then assistant managers, railway, this one station master. Station master itself starting, he gets paid around 50,000. He gets paid around 50,000 because I know so many people who are interested in taking it up. So this will be your Group C, Group D, and a few of Group B also. There are totally 21 railway boards throughout the country. So there are totally how many? 21 railway boards throughout the country. Unless they've added some recently, there are totally 21 railway boards spread across different cities in the country. So for the recruitment to these 21 railway boards, it happens through RRB. So this exam is your railway recruitment board. Again, this is held throughout the year. Here also the exams normally will be much easier than your banking. So normally if you take, right, banking and SSC will be quite hard. This is the difficulty level. RRB will be slightly lesser than that. RRB will be slightly lesser than that. That is what happens. Okay, RRB slightly lesser than that. And the vacancies won't be too much like your it'll be heavy, but it will not be too much. It'll not be too much, but it'll vary from it'll vary, and that too it'll the postings, vacancies, the notifications will come again throughout the year. So again, again, what is the use of this? Railways, one thing is we always depend on the railways, like how we depend on State Bank of India. It's not that it's going to close anytime soon unless they privatize this sector. Unless they privatize the sector, it will not face any difficulties, because there's always a need. People travel by railways, and there's always opportunity, stability, and you'll have a lot of work. And especially if you are able to get into Group B through the RRB exams, right? Group B, you get a lot of immense respect. Many of you may be aware of it also, right? Because you'll have relatives working in the railways also. Fine. Anyone has till now? Anyone has any questions? You can ask. Anything? Nothing at all.
Sir, should we writing these exams during the course, or we can write after the course also, sir?
See, the thing is, normally for all these exams, right, you should have completed. Unless if you're looking for a JEE or whatever, you should have completed your degree. So by the time you clear that exam and get into that, right, you should have cleared your degree. See, it doesn't make imagine you're doing a 4-year engineering course and you take up this exam in 3rd year. It doesn't make sense. Understood? It makes a lot of sense to do it when you're in your 4th year, because by the time the results come, you will be completed. But some cases they will strictly give in the notification, you should have completed your graduation. If they've given like that, or they will give, or you should be in your last year of graduation. Understood? It depends on what they state. If they state like that, you should accordingly see and take up the exam.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All of us are what? We are all engineering students only, right? The students who joined today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're all in which year actually?
Second year,
Second
sir.
year.
Second year. So any of us are planning on taking up GRE in the future? Any of us are planning? Not
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. So when it comes to this one, right? Since you are in your BE, right? Many of us would like to take up your masters abroad. But what I've noticed is the current fourth year students is they're hesitant because of the fear of the pandemic, and the people who have graduated also their fear of pandemic. But this is something which is very easy. The exam now is very simple when compared to when it was when I used to when I studied for it also that time when I took it up that time we had to learn 3000 words. We had to learn 3000 words, and from those that word list they would ask questions on synonyms, antonyms, that is the opposite of the meaning of a word. That is, and then this then they'll ask you a word which is similar in meaning to the word that has been given. So it was pretty hard. Now the pattern is just for 340 marks. The pattern is just for 340 marks, 170 marks for verbal reasoning, 170 marks for quantitative reasoning. So 170 marks for verbal reasoning, 170 marks for quantitative reasoning, and then they have a section called as analytical writing. Analytical writing is nothing but two parts. One is your they have a issue essay, they have an issue essay, and the other one is an argument essay. So one is an issue essay and the other is an argument essay. Okay, so one is an issue essay and the other is an argument essay. So you have verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, and analytical. Now verbal reasoning, what does it consist of? See, before, that's why I told, no, they'll ask synonyms, antonyms, very hard. Now how it works is questions are primarily like reading comprehension, not like it is reading comprehension. They'll give you a passage, they'll give you a passage, it'll run into many pages, 1.5 pages, 1 page, and so on. You'll have to go through it, understand the passage in detail, and then you will have to answer the questions. So it can be a question on geography, history, politics, social related issues, and so on. But it'll be more or less from, because GRE is not an Indian exam, it's conducted by a foreign body. It'll be questions, based on that. So everything will be in the term of dollars. In term of dollars, it won't be rupees and so on. But it is much easier. Similarly, they have questions like fill in the blanks with suitable words. But those words will be testing your vocabulary. But it's not that you need to know fancy words. If you understand that statement, so they'll give you a statement like this, dash and dash and so on, and then they'll give you. So you need to understand the statement and see which words will fit into the blanks, which words will be able to fit into those two blanks. If you, to be honest, if you study around 600 to 800 of the commonly used words, it would be more than enough. It would be more than enough to help you clear this section. Because what happens with our engineering students, and especially GRE, quantitative reasoning, you will crack it. You will do really well. But verbal reasoning will bring us down. But for that, you need to learn. Just learn anything. At least start early, because you're all in your second year. Start early. At least buy the Hindu. Don't buy the Times of India. Don't see, even if you get the Times of India, what you'll end up doing is you'll be going to the Chennai Times. Who married whom, who went where. But that is not going to help you at all. By the Hindu, especially if you see the Sundays. Hindu has a supplement paper on Sundays, beautiful paper. In the sense, they'll write an article on a dog. It'll be just about a dog, but the way they would have written it would have been really nice. And then somebody would have gone to Mahabalipuram. They'll describe the place nicely, the food. It'll be simple. You can understand also very easily, even if you don't understand. If you don't understand a few words, take you have all of you, most of you will be blessed with a phone, and that too during pandemic you need a phone. Download a thesaurus, go through the meaning of the words, understand what those words mean, because see, you can start using it later on. Simple. See, I know the meaning of one particular word. See, there's a word called inundate, inundate. Now if there's a heavy rain, I won't you can appreciate it by using an example instead of doing rote learning. Rote learning means just memorizing. Okay, inundate means filled with water, but where are you going to fill? You're going to fill the water bottle with water? No. See, then another word, another interesting word is genuflect. Genuflect. See, in worship. See, I don't know the exact meaning, but I know the meaning where it, I mean, the example where it can be used. So this is something which you should reflect on. See, now itself, if you get some source material, you can always look at a word and a example, and then think about it. Okay, this is where I can use it in the future. Because sometimes if you just learn the meaning of the word, you may not be placing it in the correct context. If you cannot say I genuflected before a dead body, people will look at you in a very bad way. No, I genuflected normally in a church or a mosque or a temple. So that is something. So you can learn your words, read your paper, read, because everywhere, see, people will have questions on comprehension. Now I am taking currently, because currently the same college also, currently there is a girl in Australia from Panimalar. She did a master's abroad, and she is in Australia with around 6 years of experience. She is joined just for a short term aptitude training coaching from Australia. I am taking for her. Now the main thing is what she is finding difficult is reading. She's finding it difficult to read. Seriously, she's finding it difficult to frame a sentence or a paragraph, because she's got used to using Excel and PPT and phone. But unfortunately, if she wants to switch a job, she wants to go from one job to the other, they're asking aptitude related questions. That is why she has come to us for training. So that is my thing. So one another thing is, in basic maths calculations, she's finding it hard. Leave her. Other people also with work experience, as you grow older, you will find it hard. So as much as possible, avoid using the phone for basic calculations. Even for 5 into 11, don't use. Many people use. Don't do it. For 10 into 3 people use the phone. Don't do it. Try it by yourself. You take your own parents, especially when the ironing man comes. The ironing man comes, your mother, you'll be shocked when your grandmother and your mother, they will do it 17 into 6 plus 7 into 9, and then they will say 179. And then here we'll be still calculating. So certain things, don't feel bad when it comes to maths, especially, right? Write down your tables. I know it's bad. We have a brother or sister. Write it down. 1 to 16 tables. It'll help you sometime in the future, at least. It'll help you sometime in the future. Because see, like what I said, right? Forget this exam also. You'll be using it for aptitude. That is for your job placement. Or even when you get a job, when you switch from one job to another, they'll again have an aptitude apart. So you will be using it somewhere or the other. Or later on in life, when you finish, you work for 6 years at Cognizant or Infosys or something, and then you want to do a MBA abroad, you'll have to take up GMAT. GMAT again is aptitude. So at the end of the day, aptitude comes anywhere. And the last part is your analytical writing, which is an issue essay and an argument essay. Now, what is an issue essay? Issue is, it's like, they'll give you a topic to ponder about, to think about. They give you a topic to ponder about, think about. They'll ask, has technology actually helped us? So has technology actually helped us? So then if you take such an essay, has technologically actually helped us? So one is, yes, Google Maps is there. It has helped us do so many things. It has helped us do so many things. We have got created innovations in so many places. We are able to go to the moon. We are able to travel abroad very fast. We are able to go to so many places just like that. But then that are the positives. What about the negatives? We don't use our brain. Simple. We use the calculator. We don't use our brain. We are dependent on everything. Oh, good old days when if you were traveling from here to Chennai to Kanyakumari, they would use some, printed map. Now, even with maps, they're getting lost. Even with Google Maps, they're getting lost. So technology has spoiled us. That is the negatives. So that is an issue essay. Issue essay is like, a debate. You have to write it down such that you give the positives and the negatives. And then the argument essay is nothing but an argument. You're fighting. You're all out. See, the author will say that this current political system is the best. You have to go all out saying no. Argument is only negative. See, issue essay will be you say the positives and the negatives. Argument essay, you say only negatives. The author is completely wrong. It is not at all right what he is saying. So this is the thing with GRE. Hopefully they don't change the pattern in the next thing. Normally, so the scoring pattern, if you see, is 170 marks, 170. So this is 170. This is also 170. So totally it comes to 340. It works out to 340 marks. So 170, 170, 340. Normally, if you prepare slightly also, you will easily get 300 out of 340. If you keep minimum preparation also, you will get 300 out of 340. Okay. That is one thing. Fine. That is one thing. Anyone has any questions about this? Anything about GRE? No questions? Nothing, huh? Okay. Fine. We go to the next part. Okay. So next is what we're going to look at is we're going to look at MBA as an option. We're going to look at MBA as an option. Now, many of us will think, why not? Why do we need to look at it as MBA as an option? See, what I also observed is many people have a burnout once they go and join an IT firm or they go join more or less because in India we have a lot of scope of getting into IT companies. After 2-3 years they'll be frustrated because they don't see any growth. See, it's like, you join a company, to replace you have 100-200 people standing in line, and then when they go there they see, right, it takes so many years to reach a managerial level. It takes nearly 10 years. I have also seen that it takes 10-12 years to reach a managerial level. So why not, go take the easy way out or the faster way. Take the easier way out or the faster way. Why not take up complete an MBA and then join the same company or join some other company? Why not do that? There are many things. So now I'll give you an example. My own brother, he completed his graduation from College of Engineering, Indi, Anna University, from 2003. He got a job with HCL, from HCL. HCL offered him a job for 17,000 in 2003. And we all told him, everyone told him, you take it up. But then he got admission into IIM Bangalore. He got admission into IIM Bangalore that same year. He completed in 2005. And when he completed in 2005, his first job after completing from IIM Bangalore 2005, his first job was 12 lakhs per year. His first job was 12 lakhs per year. Now imagine 12 lakhs per year in 2005 when chief secretary was earning only around 4 lakhs per year. That was his salary actually. Chief secretary was earning only 4 to 5 lakhs per year. Chief secretary of any government. Now imagine if he had joined that IT job, if he had joined HCL for 17,000 per month, he would, now be earning maybe around 24-25 lakhs he'll be earning. But take the second scenario. He was getting 12 lakhs that time. Now he is getting around 45 to 50 lakhs. Now where is 24 lakhs now and what is 45 to 50 lakhs? You cannot compare, because the one difference is which has enabled him to make so much money is the MBA. The one difference that has enabled him to make so much of a difference when it comes to money is your MBA. That is the risk that he took that time, because it would have been easier to go get into HCL. HCL also was, relatively new than, consider HCL now. So 17,000, now 24 lakhs, he would have been getting that range. But instead he took that risk, got into an MBA, and then IIM Bangalore, and then he'll be earning around close to 50 lakhs. So this is something which you need to take that risk. And that too, imagine the fees that time, because many people will come and ask me, sir, but the fees is 20 lakhs, sir, already is difficult. I agree. But then see, the fees that time for him was 5 lakhs. The fees that time for him was 5 lakhs, which was a lot of money. It's not simple. 5 lakhs is a lot of money in 2004. 2003 actually. So I'm just telling. So it's worth the risk, but that risk is he took it. He took a loan for that also, and then he was able to clear it. So this is something which you need to decide. Another thing I want to tell for GRE is also, I want to tell for GRE before I forget. See, now when you take GRE also, many of us will think, oh, I have to spend 25 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs when I go abroad. Now you take when I studied in SSN, all my classmates were all middle and lower, all from Salem, Pandruti, all from Kanyakumari. No, not like how SSN is now. Very simple thing, and all of them, like around many of them, around 15, 20 from my batch itself went abroad for GRE. All of them took loans. All of them took loans, and what happened was the best part is the first year fees alone they they paid it through loan. The second year fees, they went there, they worked part-time as a research assistant, teaching assistant, and then they paid off the second fees by themselves. That's what happened to 90% of them. 90% of them, they did it like that. And so what happened is once they got an actual job, that is second year they worked part-time, paid off the fees for the second year. So once they completed after 2 years, they got a nice job, and then they paid back the loan which they took for the first year fees. So this I just want to tell about that. Similarly, that's why I'm saying don't look too much at this. We look at your growth. Do you want to be always middle and lower? Middle and saying I'm saying is, do you want just to be satisfied with a 3 lakh or 4 lakh job, or do you want a 12 lakh or 15 lakh job? Or if you go abroad to the states or something, you will get around 40 to 50 lakhs. Do you want, it depends on what your interests are and where you want to scale up and how you want to scale up. This is the thing which you should decide. Okay, just because everyone is doing the same thing, don't do it. You should look at your growth, where you want to be, how you want to change things. That is how it should be up to you. So scope of MBA. Now what are the different exams? You have a CAT exam, that is the number one exam for MBA in the country. The number one exam for MBA in the country. Then you have your ZAT. CAT is common admission test. Common admission test, if you see, there are totally 19 IIMs, 19 Indian Institutes of Management throughout the country. 19 IIMs throughout the country, and you have the top 3 IIM A, B, and C. Normally, if you complete from this, the average salary is around 20 lakhs per year. 20 lakhs per year is the average salary. Apart from this, you have many other places. You have in Trichy, Rohtak, Raipur, Kozhikode, and other places. Then what is this XAT? XAT is Xavier admission test. It is mainly for the Xavier, that is the Catholic institutions. Catholic institutions. It is conducted by a college called as XLRI Jamshedpur. Jamshedpur. It is in Jamshedpur, that near the Tata Steel City, right? They call it that, right? And XLRI Jamshedpur is like one of the really old colleges, as good as IIM Ahmedabad and Bangalore. Sometimes people will get into one of the IIMs like Lucknow, but they would prefer XLRI Jamshedpur because XLRI Jamshedpur is famous. And normally XLRI Jamshedpur, if you see, they have a BM. BM is business management, and they have a HR MBA. So BM and a HR MBA. This HR MBA is like one of their oldest. Is like one of the oldest HR programs in the country. Normally, if you take any company, they'll have a what do you say, chief human resource officer. They will have a chief people officer, or a director HR. More or less, most of those people would have done their MBA from XLRI Jamshedpur. They would have done their MBA from XLRI Jamshedpur. They would have done their MBA from XLRI Jamshedpur. Apart from that, Chennai, you have Liba. Then Great Lakes, Great Lakes Institute of Management. You would have heard of Great Lakes. No, they keep on advertising. They're a good college. Then you have then there are a lot of this Xavier, XIME, Xavier Institute of Management Entrepreneurship, Xavier Institute of Management Bhubaneswar. So these colleges will accept that. As well as you take Liba in Chennai, you take Great Lakes, they accept CAT as well. See, what happens is they do not want to be stuck only with one exam. They want to accept multiple exams, because most of the MBA takers in the country will take up CAT. 50% or so of that entire lot will also take up ZAT. And it makes a lot of sense to take up both exams, because if you don't do well in one, you can do well in the other. If you're not well, imagine you're not well, somebody is not well, you can obviously miss that exam and take up the other exam. That is one thing. Then IAFT is Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. It's a government. It's a government college, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. It's a government college. They have two campuses, one in Delhi and one in Calcutta. Delhi and Calcutta. Delhi and Calcutta. This is also a government college, fewer seats, but they have their own exam. They have their own exams. See, I'm only highlighting the exams. I'm not highlighting the colleges in detail. I'm only highlighting the exams. So IFT has two campuses in Delhi and Calcutta, and they conduct their own exam. SNAP is for the Symbiosis group of colleges. Symbiosis group of colleges. Now, why I always stress on Symbiosis is because it's very good for infrastructure as well as faculty. Infrastructure and faculty, they have multiple colleges. They have at least 10 colleges offering for MBA, but out of the 10, 2 out of the 10 will be really good. One in Pune, they have, that is both are in Pune, SIBM Pune, and SCM HRD Pune. So SIBM is Symbiosis Institute of Business Management. The other one is Symbiosis Center for Management and Human Resources Development. Now, all these Symbiosis colleges, this IFT, and all average salary will be minimum 12 lakhs per year. If you complete from here, you will get around 12 lakhs per year. Then MAT. MAT is conducted 4 times in a year. MAT is conducted 4 times in a year, and it is for the other type of colleges. Now, see now I have done my engineering from SSN. Now, what if you want to do an MBA from SSN? You can take up MAT. So MAT is for the lower colleges. But see, in Chennai we have LIBA, right? LIBA won't accept MAT. The LIBA, so if you take a MAT exam and you go and tell LIBA, I want to get admission using my MAT score, they will not allow. They will not agree. They will not agree because they have a standard. Because see, MAT is conducted 4 times in a year, and so it's much easier. See, I know people who have got 99 in MAT, 98 in MAT, but in the CAT exam they have got only 60. So the MAT is not a true reflective of how well you have studied. So that is why the top colleges don't accept MAT, but the other colleges. Now, if you take and see, like SSN offers MBA, then PSG Coimbatore offers MBA. They all accept MAT. They all accept MAT. So many colleges are there. Then you have Alliance in Bangalore. Many colleges, but they're all tier 3, tier 4, not tier 1 or tier 2, tier 3 or tier 4. Then TANSET. TANSET is the most sought after, one of the most sought after exams in our city, in our state also. Because it's nothing but Tamil Nadu Common Entrance Test. This is if you are looking to get admission into MBA, MCA, ME in Anna University affiliated colleges. Now, if you want to, take up affiliated, one second. If you want to take up, this one, ME in your own college, if you want to take up ME in Panimalar itself, what you need to do is, once you complete, you have to take up TANSET. You have to take up TANSET because it'll be mandatory. They'll normally use a TANSET core for getting into it. So if you want to join College of Engineering Guindy for ME, you should take up TANSET exam. Or you want to do MCA. Okay, let me finish up my master's in computer application. Then I will look for an IT job so that I'm satisfied with my master's. Then you will have to take up TANSET. You will have access to all the Tamil Nadu based colleges because whoever is agreeing to opt for this, and then they'll have a counseling. The cream of the cream, the top, right? Top. If you get the top 100, 200 ranks, you will be able to get into Anna University as well as Madras University. The other, as per your ranking, and you will have counseling dates and so on. You can look at the other colleges. So TANSET is for MBA, MCA, ME as well as MArch also. MArch also is there, Masters in Architecture. So if later on, if you're looking to do it in Tamil Nadu specific or under Anna University specifically, you can look at this. Then why I have put extra is, apart from this, there are other exams. If for MBA specifically, if I need to go through it that in detail, it'll take time. It'll take time. Okay. And what about the exam patterns? Now, everywhere, I am not going to go too much in detail. Everywhere, if you see, you have quantitative aptitude, you have verbal, and you have DI and LR. Now, what is DI? DI stands for data interpretation. That is, they'll give questions in the form of pie charts. pie charts, then tables, and LR is logical reasoning. So what happens is more or less anywhere in all these MBA exams, you will have quants, quantitative aptitude, verbal, DI and LR. Now notice carefully, this is the same syllabus which is there in banks, which is there in SSC, which is there in RRB. But here and there, what will happen is one exam, see if you take railways, they may not have maths, but they'll have verbal. So they may not have DI, they won't have DI somewhere, but they'll have quants. So, but the syllabus is the same. So what always I suggest somebody, somebody will come to me and say, sir, I want to have access to all the exams. So for that, what do I study for? For that, what you need to study for is have to study for CAT. If you study for CAT, you can easily take up the banking exams. But if you go join an institute or somewhere telling, I want to study for banking, what will happen is you will not be able to take up CAT because the severity level for the teachers or the topics taken for you, if it is going to be banking, will be much lesser than that is needed for CAT. So you can't sit, but the other way will happen. If you take CAT, you can take up this. That is what I always. If you take up CAT, you can take up any other exam. You can take up any other exam. See now, if you take XAT, XAT has a GK section also. Yeah, XAT has a GK section. They have a quantitative ability. They have verbal. They have DI and LR also. They have DI and LR. So they have GK. They have quantitative ability. They have verbal and DI and LR. Again, similar to your banking, you have even GK. So similarly, the other exams, you have your IAFT, you have your SNAP, you have your MAT, you have your TANSET. It depends. TANSET won't have GK and all, but this IAFT, SNAP and all will have GK. MAT has GK. So you study for all of this, read your paper. So how do I prepare for GK? So a commonly asked question. Now it doesn't make sense for somebody to sit one day and read the news for the last 2-3 years. Very difficult to remember. Very difficult to remember. That is another thing. That's why I'm saying when you buy the paper as a process, see, we are not, when you're reading the paper, no, I remember, see, now, when I meet someone to strike a conversation, generally I'm saying if I meet somebody, today I met a person from from a B school, from business school from Bombay. Now, to strike a conversation, I cannot make things up, but I'm able to strike a conversation from the things that I read in the paper yesterday or day for yesterday. It's when I'm reading the paper, I'm not memorizing, but it's somehow it registers. That's the thing with this reading of news and reading of books and all. So make that a habit because it'll help you. It'll help you not now, at least it'll help you later on. Now, okay, not now, later on also. See now, if you clear banking, you clear the exams, you have to you'll have to pass in personal interview. Similarly for CAT and XAT and all, you clear the exam. The last part of the exam after the exam is an interview. When I went for an interview many years back, the question they asked is, which books do you read? Then I said Agatha Christie. I said Agatha Christie. I read Agatha Christie. The novels written by Agatha Christie, and then the author, I mean the main person is the detective is Hercule Poirot. So then they said, okay, you have read. Can you tell me the names of 2 books that you have read as well as a story? So luckily I was prepared for that. So I'm saying somewhere or the other it'll help you. It'll help you. So somebody likes reading Tamil books. They told nicely. There one girl that they explained. I told her, you tell the same thing when you go for the interview, and she told, and she got admission also. So certain things, right? Certain things, if you do it, it's not about helping you today, but it'll help you sometime. It's not going to help you, give you, maybe not help you immediately, but it'll help you sometime in the future. Surely it'll help you sometime in the future. Anyone has any questions till now? Any questions? Anyone has any questions till now? Nothing, huh? Fine. Then I'll go back to that actually. I don't know. I'm not able to annotate actually. I don't know why it's like this. 1 second. Fine. Now I'll give you one question. Now, can you try this out? Can you try the fifth one? I just put down the fifth question. Now, can you try it out?
So 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Great. I think great. Who is this?
So
Solve it,
Deepak, sir.
Deepak. So tell me, Deepak, how did you solve it so quickly?
So 10, if we double the number and, oh, 1 minute, sir. Can you, from the question, I can say that one cat can catch one rat in 10 minutes.
Very good. So similarly, 20 cats will
Right.
eat 20 rats in 10 minutes. See, now one thing is, see, this is not a to be very good, Deepak. Very good. Good that you answered. Nice. Happy. So fast you answered also. See, now this is a very famous aptitude question. It has come. See, I don't know when it came, but if you search online also, you will see it coming in the TCS suggested paper, this paper, that paper, and all. And then if it doesn't come in the paper, they'll ask in the interview. There's a chance. Now, this is not a realistic thing. Actually, this is not a realistic thing. See, what happens here is you have cat 1, you have cat 2, like this till cat 10. Okay, then below them you have rat 1, you have rat 2, and like this. If only my writing pad was working, and I don't know, I'm not able to annotate. It's okay, I'll type it. I'm fast in typing actually. See, there are 10 cats. There are 10 cats. In front of them, 10 rats are there. As per the question, what happens is actually 1:1 mapping happens. That is, cat 1 eats rats 1, cat 2 eats rat 2, cat 3 eats rat 3, cat 10 eats rat 10. So each cat is eating a rat at the same time. The time taken for them to eat is 10 minutes. That is, each cat is eating a rat for 10 minutes. So the eating time is 10 minutes. Understood? The eating time is 10 minutes. And it's like 1:1 mapping happening. See, the same question, if I had changed it to 10 men are making 10 tables in 10 minutes, then you would have understood it very fast. See, 10 men are making 10 tables in 10 minutes means one man is making one table, and the making time is 10 minutes. The making time is how much? 10 minutes. The same thing here. Cat 1 eats rat 1, 10 minutes. Cat 2 is eating rat 2, 10 minutes. Cat 3 is eating rat 3 in 10 minutes. But realistically, think, touch your heart and think. Imagine you have a room, 10 cats are there, 10 rats in front of them. One cat will jump on 2 rats. Then at the same time, another cat will jump on those 2 same rats. It will not happen. But this is like a perfect question. Perfect question where you need to understand, ensure that it is like an ideal situation. So here the eating time is 10 minutes. So same thing when you have, instead of 10 and 10, you have 20 and 20. See, when you have 20 and 20, that is, you have cat 1, cat 2 till cat 20. Similarly, rat 1, rat 2 till rat 20. Remember again here, cat 1, rat 1, cat 2, rat 2, cat 3, rat 3, cat 20, rat 20. The eating time again will be 10 minutes because it takes eating time 10 minutes to eat a rat, right? So that is why your answer is 10 minutes. That is why your answer is 10 minutes. There's a formula for this and all, but for that you need to have a lot of explanation. So I'm not showing the formula. I'm not showing the formula. This is the thing about this. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me this answer? Without using calculator, please. Please try without using calculator.
12,000.
How much are you getting? 12,000. Who? Your good name? Your good name? Don't feel shy.
Sakti.
Okay. How did you solve it? How did you solve it? How did you solve it? Normal way. Okay. Now see, if you see right now, 50%, if you take 50%, what is 50%? 50 out of 100. What is 50 out of 100? 1 out of 2. That is half. Half is nothing but 50%. Half is nothing but 50%. So 50% is 50 out of 100, which is nothing but 1 by 2. Similarly, 33.33% is 1 by 3. That is 1/3. When you say you have 1/3, if you say you have 1/3, imagine somebody has 3 fish, 3 chocolates. You can take 1 chocolate. You go and take 1 chocolate. So somebody has 3 chocolates. You go and take 1 chocolate from him. That means you have taken 1 out of his 3. That is, you have taken 33.33% of what he had. Understood? You have taken 33.33% of what he has. So 33.33% in terms of fractions is nothing but 1 by 3. Similarly, 25% is 25 by 100. 25 out of 100, which is nothing but quarter. That is 1 by 4. So 1/4 of anything is nothing but 25%. So imagine you have a tank. Capacity is 100 liters. Tank having capacity 100 liters. Only 25 liters is full. That means it is 1/4 full. That is the meaning. They'll say no. If it was 50, see, a tank is having 100 liters. 50 liters is there. It is half full. 50 out of 100 is half. If it was 25, it would be quarter full or 1 by 4 full. Similarly, now notice this carefully, okay? 33.33% is 1 by 3, 1 out of 3. My question is asking 66.66%. Now look at the connection here. See, 33.33% is 1 by 3. Now there is a connection between 33.33 and 66. If I multiply, since we are all engineers, we should understand. Double, very good. Very good. If I multiply, very good, excellent. If I multiply both sides with 2, if I multiply both sides with 2, I will get 66.66% as 2/3. So 2/3 is nothing but 66.66%. Okay, that is why the question is nothing but the question now changes to 2 by 3 into 18,000. So 2/3 of 18,000, like how somebody said, if you solve it, you will get 12,000. You will get 12,000. That is what we have done here. So 50% is half, 33.33% is 1/3, 25% is quarter. 25, see, 25% is quarter. See, you take 25%. I'm just extending this. You take 25%. 25% is quarter. Okay. Now 25% is quarter. Now this quarter is there, right? If I multiply both sides with 2, if I multiply both sides with 2, that is I'm doubling. What is 25% into 2? 50%. So I will again get half. Understood? Because what is quarter into 2? Quarter into 2 is half. So therefore you will get 50% as half, which I've already written at the top, So that is how you can solve this question. Now somebody can try this, but this is a little difficult. I'll give you the thing also. See, I showed you 50% is half, 1 by 3 is 33.33, quarter is 25%. Now there is something that is 14.28% is actually 1 by 7. 14.28% is 1 by 7. Little difficult. If you use your calculator and try, you divide 1 by 7. You divide by 1 by 7, you will get 0.14288 something you will get, which is nothing but 14.28%, which is 14.28% is 14.28 by 100. Okay, in the short form is 1 by 7. Like how I said 50% is half, 33.33% is 1 by 3. This is 1 by 7. So same way, can you tell me what is the answer for this? 4,000. Very good. So 28.56% will be double of this. You will get 2 by 7. You will get 2 by 7. So 28.56% will be double of this. You will get 2 by 7. So this will translate down to 2 by 7 into 14,000. So you will get how much? 4,000 as your answer. You will get 4,000 as your answer. You will get 4,000 as your answer. Okay. Now certain things. See, I'll be honest with you. See, I don't know 17 tables, 18 tables, 19 tables completely. But see, I know 17 into 1 is 17. I know 17 into 2 is 34. I know 17 into 2 is 34. I know 17 into 3 is 51. And then 17 into 5 is 85. Okay. Now I know this. Now what will happen is we want to, use the variations of this. Now if somebody asks me, what is 17 into 4? What I will do is, I know 17 into 2 is 34. What I will do is, I will do it as 34 into 2, which is 68. I'll do it as 34. That is double of that, because 17 into 2 is 34. Just double that. You will get 68. Similarly, if somebody asks me 17 into 9, I know 17 threes are 51. So then I will do this as 51 into 3, because 3 into 3 only is 9, right? 3 into 3. See, this part is there, right? This part is nothing but, so this 51 is 17 into 3. That into 3 will give you 17 into 9, right? So you'll get 51 into 3, which is 153, which is 153. 3. Like this, there are so many things you can do. So learn the minimum, learn the bare minimum, write it down. You will be able to do it, because see, calculation will come. See, when you're solving a very hard question anywhere, somewhere it will be like 153 will be in the numerator, denominator will be 17. Then you will be thinking, oh no, I don't even know 17 tables, what to do? Then try to recollect your base values. You put 17 into 3 is 51. Some connection is there. Some connection is there. It will correctly go 9 times. Like this, you can do for 18, you can do for 19. There are for everything, and especially in maths, right? There is an easy way out. Because see, remember, aptitude exams they've been holding it for so many years, from the 80s and so on. That time no calculator, 90s and all no calculator. This question which you're seeing on screen was asked in a CAT question paper long time back. No question, no calculator that time was allowed. Calculator was there, but they didn't allow it for the exam. They didn't allow it for the exam. Now, if you see carefully, can anyone tell me what is 15 square? What is 15 square?
225.
What is 25 square?
625.
625.
Great. Now there's a beautiful thing about this, okay? And there's a nice thing about this. If you see now any number, the square of any number, ending in 5, the square of any number ending in 5 will always end in 25. You notice the 25 here. Notice the 25 here. What about the number before that? What about the number before that? Now the number before that is, now forget this 5. Forget this 5. Take the other number. The other number is 1. What is 1 into the next number? What is the succeeding number after 1? 2. So what is 1 into 2? 2. That is why you get 225. Similarly, for 25 square, if for 25 square, if you see the last two numbers are 25. What about the number before that? You have 2. What is 2 into the next number? 3. That is why you get 625. Same thing can be done for anything. If you take 95 square, it will be 9 into 10, that is 90, followed by 25, because 25 will always come. That is, square of any number ending in 5 will always end in 25. So same thing I can do for anything. If you want, 1145 square, that is 1145 square, it'll end in 25. What about the digits before that? The digits before that will be 114 into the next number. What is 114 into the next number? 114 into 115. It's a big number. I'm not writing it. So that's what I'm saying. Certain things in math and all, right? When you have a fear for it, you'll never do. But when you start appreciating, seeing the shortcuts, formulas and all, you'll be able to do it completely. Fine. Do you have any questions? Because it's time, actually nearly time. Do you have any questions at all?
No, sir.
Nothing, huh? Fine. I hope at least you learned something today, because we missed the first 5 minutes, and I would have done better if I was able to master the writing, because I'm not used to Teams. I'm used to Google Meet and this one. Fine. I hope you are okay with it. Do you have any questions? You can ask me now. Otherwise, we can think. Any other questions? Anyone? Anything? Even if you feel it's silly, it may not be silly actually. Nothing, huh? Fine. Fine. Then shall we stop then? Yeah, shall we stop? What do we do actually?
Students?
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
have you come to the end of the session?
Yeah, I've come to the end of it. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I think it was really interactive, because I was so happy seeing the students answer for certain questions that you were putting forth.
Correct.
I'm sure they would really love further sessions like this. So thank you so much for accommodating as well. Maybe
Sure.
we'll discuss further. If you would like to give more
Sure,
sessions also, we can work around with that.
Sure, madam. Actually, if possible, I'll try to at least download this app, because if I can write, it'll be much easier for me, because writing is only my strong area
Sure,
actually.
definitely we can do it. Everybody are getting used to this app system, virtual mode. So I'm sure next time the session will be more fruitful.
Sure.
And I assure more participants for the next session as well. Thank you so much,
Sure,
sir.
sure, sure. Thank you
you
for
so
having me also, and I wish all the students the very best also, and I'm glad that many of you were able to answer also, and having it, it was at least slightly more interactive than usual. Fine.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. Because it was surprising for me as well. So thank you for that.
Sure,
And maybe I'm sure students will connect you through LinkedIn or any other modes as
Sure,
well.
sure,
And we'll also arrange for future sessions.
sure, sure. Nice.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you.
much, students as well.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.